Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff. Good to see you in the chat today, as well as you from the greater SCP Foundation. Welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the You Saw Nothing Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. We are here, as always, on our daily streak, 2 months and growing, to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation, whether they be about the staff members, the containment protocols, anomalies, either within the SCP universe or outside of it, and other various and sundry questions. So, good to see you all in the chat. Crystal, Cyber Scorpion, Silent Follower, Sonic, thank you for being in the chat and thank you for being members. And Reaper, Chaos Goblin Dogs, Random Things Central, and the Forest Eyes. Good to see you in the chat, just for being you. Junior Researcher HLG. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I'm running off half an hour's sleep, so I'm so tired. That is fair. If I have to cut stream short today, or if I feel a little lethargic, it's because I also did not get much sleep last night. Although, I'm sure mine was for a slightly different iteration than you were dealing with. You see, some SCP-3092 entities got loose in the area around my quarters. So I had to chase those literal little stuffed monkeys around playing war games until they were all knocked out so that they would go to bed. It was a whole lot of stuffed monkey business, let me tell you. But, Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot pocket on your way past the commissary. There's been more Gzai made in Gzai made in Desk's stream yesterday. Good luck. Oh, Chris, I am quite familiar with Clown Milk Jesus from yesterday. Ugh, hate that for all of us. Please, coffee. You're my only hope. I don't exist. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Snickers bar on your way past the commissary. Desk, good to see you in the chat. So what's the thing with the blurry dogs? Let me drop you a link real quick and I'll tell you all about it. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail where you will see said blurry dog, but for reasons that will become clear later on today, we're getting to know some anomalies from the group of interest known as Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. This good boy right here that I'm sharing in the chat is named Samson. And Samson is an adorable little doggo under containment by Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. And they are a seemingly normal dog, except for the fact that Samson appears, just anytime you look at it, to be blurry. A blurry dog. And so, for those of you in the chat, here is Critter Profile Samson. As you can see, anomaly is in full effect in this photograph. And if I scroll down, the picture from the thumbnail, it's just a blurry, blurry boy. And of course, if you're unfamiliar, Wilson's Wildlife Solutions is essentially the Steve Irwin of the SCP universe. They are located in Boring, Oregon. So not Gravity Falls, Oregon, different Pacific Northwest town, Boring, Oregon. And they are a little animal sanctuary that contains anomalous critters. And they're a very friendly, down-home group of rubes who work as volunteers and low paid. They don't have a lot of resources. But they're good down-home folks. They've got an agreement with the Foundation to operate an anomalous animal sanctuary. And yeah, there will be a reason we're talking about them a little later on. We'll get to that. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of cheesecake on your way past the commissary. Petition for Dr. Sherman to get some rest. Take care of yourself, we worry. I will rest. Resting is on the docket, but the day's work needs to get done first. We have responsibilities here at the Foundation. Having to do some things with little sleep, that is okay with us. Pardon. Amber, good to see you in the chat. Thanks for being a member. And yeah, we'll be around for, normally it would be 3 hours, but I think depending on how I'm feeling, we might go for just 2. We'll see how it goes. No, Andy, no clown cheesecake. Ugh. Shmalaya, we do not talk about the researcher who has been transformed into Dr. Elias Shaw due to a video on this channel called The Last Death of Jack Bright that will fill you in on all the details for why we at Site42 and many in the SCP community have chosen to break away from using that character. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is Coffee Jesus good? Well, I don't know what Coffee Jesus does based on what happened in Desk's stream yesterday, but I would not turn down the blessing of Coffee Jesus at this point, no. Now, I've got some Ko-Fi donations here. A Ko-Fi donation is different than a YouTube Super Chat because YouTube takes 30% of the money you put into a Super Chat, and then Apple gets a cut as well if you're doing it on iPhone. But Ko-Fi just goes directly to the creator. So if you want to go the back channel and sneak the money under the table, I appreciate the effort. Andy, thank you for donating on Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a blintz at the commissary. Have you read SCP-4321? Huge trigger warning for SA in that one, but it's really good and is also Clef lore. I have not read 4321, although I have heard Desk, our resident Dr. Clef expert, tell me about it in the past. So I am familiar with the idea there, and it is some lore I'm going to have to read eventually, because obviously there's a whole lot going on there with Clef. And I think you donated twice? Open the Ko-Fi. I meant 4231. Oops. That makes sense, yeah. So, yes, that is the correct article, and yeah, I know about it by reputation, I just have to check it out. And thank you for donating again to clarify that, even though I did know what you meant once you mentioned Clef. Oh, that page is very bright. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I'm fine with whatever length as long as you get some good rest. We sleeping hard tonight, Site42 staff. We sleeping hard tonight. What would happen if I gave Josie an entire pound of cheese? Accidentally, of course. You would be harshly penalized for such activities, accidental or otherwise. Alcide and Janice, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I'm making coffee right now. I hope I wake up a little. Good luck, junior researcher. Dr. Sherman, I would like to request permission to give SCP-729- Jay a hug. You and Dr. Hessen, some freaks, I tell you what. Dr. Sherman, have you seen my list of Gzai that I sent over Twitter? The Forest Eyes, I have not seen a Gzai list, but I am curious. Where would I see such a thing? I'm not seeing it in my mentions, Forest Eyes. Dr. Keeper or 3147? I'll start with Dr. Keeper and see what I get. Mm-hmm. 3417. Gotcha, there we go. I've got the account at the very least. Oh Lord, you were scared of clown milk Jesus, Dr. Sherman. Oh, I have more, many more. Have fun. The Jesus will be in the replies. After all, Des did actually show you clown milk Jesus. Good job to Mexi on that. So we've got clown milk Jesus, shredded Jesus, chocolate Jesus, potato Jesus, Dragon Jesus, Moon Jesus, Cheeto Jesus, Lemonade Jesus, Cotton Candy Jesus, Gay Jesus, Treesus, 999/Slime Jesus, Fish Jesus, Air Force Jesus, Dream Jesus, Dad Jesus, Blood Jesus, Soda Jesus, Kool-Aid Man Jesus, oh yeah, Sims Jesus, Researcher Jesus, Task Force Jesus, Swap Jesus, oh god, not a swap AU. Cowboy Jesus, Musical Jesus, Rainbow Jesus, Pride Jesus, Language Jesus, Catboy Jesus. No, not the Catboy Jesus dimension. Biblically Accurate Jesus, Car Jesus, Jesus Take the Wheel. Well, that is just the name of Uber driver Jesus' article. Feminine Jesus, Emo Jesus, Demon Jesus, Storm Jesus, Human Jesus, Spider Jesus, Surfer Jesus, Shark Jesus, Hair Jesus, Dr. Theron Jesus. That's too many Jesuses. That's so many Jesuses. Come on. The Gzai are out of control. Cyber Scorpion, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of Doritos on your way past the commissary. Why do you not like saying SCP-729-J's name? Sorry about typing it if it's a bad reason. I'm here to answer your questions. That is my job. It's fine. All you have to do is look at that entity's SCP article, and you'll know exactly why nobody likes that thing. Except for a random batch of freaks that manages to come into this chat somehow. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a pepperoni stick on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I found a new anomaly similar in size and shape to 999. However, instead of happy, this one makes people pissed to the point of mania. Well, we already have an anomaly like that. The difference is it's just not a slime. SCP mass hysteria. So SCP-2076, 2076 is not the right article. Why did it do that? 1268, there we go, 1268. SCP-1268, titled Mass Hysteria, is a human male of indeterminate race with brown eyes and black hair. It can walk around wherever... It walks around like a normal human, but it seems to only move toward crowds. It doesn't seem to have any other kind of intelligence. It just walks toward crowds. And when it walks into the crowds, the people there start to get nervous. And then after a couple minutes, they start to become disoriented or confused. And then at the 14-minute mark, they panic and flee and trample each other, and it gets crazy. So, okay, they don't get mad, they get hysterical. So there's that. And then we have a balloon, SCP balloon. And this balloon, it's probably 1367, I'm betting. It's called the party balloon. And 1367, the party balloon, floats through the air, and when it approaches a group of people, it will start creating anomalous parties. You'll hear children laughing and playing, even though there are no children around. There's the toast of a party of the slurred guest who's had a little bit to drink but is fine and is celebrating this great party. And the sounds of people yelling, chug, 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 chug. And when people are there for about 2 hours, they will start having like a crazy party. It's a balloon that inspires parties. So if a 999 were evil, I mean, we just have to lock it up, because that's exactly what we would do with all anomalies in the first place, but definitely one that was causing problems. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Moon Cheesus equals Moon Cheese Jesus. I see. Moon Cheese Jesus. But at least it's not Moon Clown Jesus. 051, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a strawberry waffle on your way past the commissary. Long time no found, still not out of the database, help. Anyway, I found a recording of 049 going fun Gopnik on accordion. Now I can't unsee this horror even if I love accordion. Yeah, even though accordion is fire, 049 is just doing it at all hours. It's another frustration. Dr. Sherman, when do you consider an anomaly an it? I mean, Dr. Clef, for example, is anomalous, but you would consider him with male pronouns. Would you consider SCP-105 a female pronoun user? So, the only time an anomaly gets pronoun privileges is either A, if they have a high enough benefit to the Foundation that they become some sort of staff member, bearing them an amount of respect not given to other anomalies. Because remember, Anomalies are objects, not people. Even if it's an anomalous human, it is an object. It is not a person. Do not humanize the anomalies. It makes it harder to do what we need to do. But Clef is on staff. Clef is a he. Iris, I'm certain that while I consider Iris an it, the people who served on that mobile task force with 105 would consider it a her while working in close quarters and building a trust bond with the entity. So the answer is rarely do we let that slide. The other time is when, you know, if you're friends with an anomaly, maybe you then consider them a he due to a slip of the tongue. For instance, I think Jeff is a righteous dude, SCP-008-J, and sometimes I do accidentally call Jeff him instead of it, but, you know, you just gotta watch yourself. Doctor, what happens if Abel was to fight 096? Who would win? O96 would win because Abel very commonly is killed by a group of mobile task force agents and has to respawn from its sarcophagus. Meanwhile, 096 will gank an entire mobile task force like that. So just by transitive property of survivability, 096 can tank a mobile task force who can tank Abel. So, by transitive property of badassery, 096 wins. Coming in with the facts and logic. SCP-729-J. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Why don't you grab yourself a banana filled with razor blades on your way past the commissary? Working on making a flying 729-. You disgust me. Junior Researcher Sally, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Dr. Shermesus equals Dr. Sherman plus Jesus. But I'm not Jesus. I'm not Jesus, nor am I any kind of anomaly. I'm just a normal, run-of-the-mill SCP researcher and site director. Me and my pen, completely non-anomalous, so not Jesus, not to my knowledge. 051, thank you for donating again. Go to BSIA on the French Division Wiki. It can be translated to Bureau of Surveillance of Abnormal Individuals, aka Staff SCP. BSIA SCP French. Anomalous Individuals Monitoring Bureau. What is the AIMB? The Anomalous Individuals Monitoring Bureau is a secret Foundation department created in 2014 by order of the O5 Command. Facing an upsurge of supernatural phenomena, and among them the ever-growing number of sentient humanoid anomalies exhibiting anomalous properties, the O5 have founded this unit, in their great wisdom, to respond to appropriately to such individuals. What does the AIMB do? The Bureau's activities are varied. The location unit works with close collaboration with the Intel Agency to identify any potentially anomalous individuals. The Recovery Unit is tasked with bringing hostile or dangerous entities to the site. The Study Unit conducts experiments on consenting subjects to better understand their anomalies and perhaps to help eliminate these. The Insertion Unit helps individuals deemed able to live in society undercover in hiding their anomaly and does checkups. And lastly, the Retention Unit is tasked with watching over entities deemed inapt to such insertion, but that do not exhibit the characteristics required to be classified as SCP items. How to join AIMB, and there's a form. Okay. And there is a couple of documents regarding the AIMB archives. Good for them. I had never heard of this department. Thank you for the intel. Good to know. There's a group out there specifically handling anomalous humanoids. That's a lot. So that's good. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'll eat the flying SCP-729-J. Somehow. I don't know how yet. Well, considering it's flamethrower proof, that it might not be digestible, so be careful. Hey Doc, out of curiosity, what if an agent who is undercover at the UIU suddenly became a werewolf but also became a necromancer? Not me, by the way. Okay, but did you then turn into a werewolf and a necromancer? Is this agent's name Gary Stew by chance? I'm just saying, it seems like a lot of special things happening to this one person. We got to be careful in this writing community that we don't stack people like that. It would have to be a damn good story to justify that kind of a mashup. Dr. Sherman, what is your opinion on the Church of the Broken God? I mean, they worship as a relatively good and benevolent God, McCain, that wants to bring technology, type utopia, and love us. They want to turn us into robots. They're a problem. Enough said. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Fireproof doesn't mean acid proof. I mean, maybe. This is terrifying. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm about to look up. I think this is a bad idea. Double Aaron 1584-J does not exist on the wiki. So there is no Clown Milk Jesus. I guess I'm thoroughly japed again. But thankfully, it doesn't exist. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Gotta go, I've been summoned for cuddles by my cat. Have a good rest of your evening. Well, the cat calleth. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you next time. Nitsud, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Has the ethics committee approved the clown milk test for the tree? Not yet. Still waiting on that one. Dr. Sherman, what are your thoughts on Yaldabaoth? Well, I feel like Yaldabaoth is worse than McCain, but both are pretty bad. I mean, yeah, for both McCain and Yaldabaoth, I would prefer neither of them come to fruition. Let's just maintain an uneasy, negative truce deadlock between them and enjoy the normalcy in its wake, huh? Don't need crazy outer gods making a mess. Researcher Voidell, you want a time check? We are 30 minutes into stream. We will be streaming for either 1.5 or 2.5 hours, depending on my lack of sleep. I'll hold out as best I can. But you know, those 3092s, adorable entities, by the way, in case you're unfamiliar. SCP-3092 is codename Guerrilla Warfare. And the guerrilla entities, let me show you a picture real quick. So imagine a bunch of these guys running around in wonderful little made-up, mocked-up guerrilla warfare outfits, play fighting with Nerf guns and things like that, and setting up traps and japes. If you're not exhausted at the middle of the night, it's actually quite fun to play with the little guys. They're very nice. They do not mean to harm you. And in fact, one time when they used a tripwire to trip a researcher and that researcher was injured, they stopped using tripwires after that because they just don't want to harm people. So that's very nice. On the list of anomalies we contain, that one's pretty high on the list of cool anomalies that I don't have a problem with. Yesterday's gay homework is such a good story in my opinion. Well, I'm glad you think so. We'll be doing gay homework at the halfway mark of the stream, so I'll decide in 30 minutes if I think it's a short stream or not. Dr. Shermanander Quadendalander, that's intricate. Does your pen have the pestilence? 049, that is a ridiculous question to ask. It is a pen. It is a completely non-anomalous pen. And I've never heard you talk about any inanimate objects having the pestilence before, so. Is there a way to remove SCP-049's mask? Not to our knowledge, it seems to be literally its face. Sorry I'm late, Dr. Shermammogram. Dr. Shermammogram? Huh. Was bottling clown milk for Clown Milk Jesus. Thank you, Edward, for being a member, but what the hell? Specifically the hell of Clown Milk Jesus, I guess. Dr. Sherman, I saw a janitor that looks a lot like you yesterday. Do you have a twin or a clone or something? Nope. No twin or clone here. And definitely not doing an undercover boss scenario to make sure you're all doing your job. That's certainly not what happened. What if you put milk Jesus in the clockworks? We're not putting organics in the clockworks, not after what happened to the chimpanzee. We're just not doing that. Rosie, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. What do you mean, Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated desk? What is your favorite SCP and what is the story and why? Archie, I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, which is either an hour and a half or 2.5 hours from now, depending on how much this coffee helps me stay awake. But you can always go to yesterday's stream and cheat and see the favorite SCPs there. Oh, Frogman, you are the source of the Dr. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, I see. And what would happen if you ate bread Jesus? What would happen if you ate 3035? Is it 3305? Yeah, 3305 has got to be it. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Toast, otherwise known as Bread Jesus. Open Protocol Judas. So, will offer parts of itself to eat and puncture itself to produce wine to drink. So, in case you didn't remember, Bread Jesus has wine for blood. A lot of people miss that part. So, the bread and wine have restorative properties as individuals who have consumed them report being cured of all physical and mental illnesses. So the answer to what would happen if you ate bread Jesus, you should have just read the documentation. It was right there. The answer was, you would be healed by the bread and wine of Bread Jesus. Honestly, if we could successfully summon Bread Jesus consistently, that would be a good way to help out the foundation. Save a lot of money on medical. Would you say that the amount of AI or AI-influenced SCPs is increasing or decreasing? The amount of AI on the wiki is as close to zero as we can possibly keep it. Now, there is an increasing amount of people submitting artificial intelligence-generated articles, which the wiki staff does their best to weed out using AI reveal software. And so they're doing their best to not let AI stuff be said on the wiki because the Foundation has a policy against generative AI when it comes to art. I mean, you'd think, pardon me, you'd think an artist community might want to keep it to people making art, after all. Dr. Shermaximus Prime, thoughts on God Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer 40k. I hope that it never shows up in our universe, because that's a lot to deal with. I'm seeing a Ko-Fi came through. Give me one moment. Andy, thank you for donating again. Mobile Task Force proposals. Mobile Task Force Iota 14, Neighborhood Watch, specialized in identifying and containing humanoid anomalies in residential areas. Mobile Task Force Row 13, Landlords, dealing with anomalous houses and buildings. Do these overlap with any existing ones? I can run a quick database search real quick. SCP, MTF. Neighborhood Watch. Let me put Neighborhood Watch in quotes and see if that comes up with anything. Honestly, I am shocked that that hasn't been used as a name for a mobile task force before. That is a generally common phrase that I would expect to be used, but it doesn't seem to be on the SCP wiki. Wait. Mobile Task Force Ada 7, codename Neighborhood Watch, is coming from, it seems, a someone's sandbox. Someone has a prospective SCP that includes Neighborhood Watch, but it never made it to final draft. So, yeah, it was almost used, but it didn't. Meanwhile, SCP Mobile Task Force Landlords. This came from someone's first SCP, Mobile Task Force Ada 2, codename Landlords. Is it a surviving SCP? Maybe. Nope, it is just a -J written on the RSCP, so not a real SCP. So it seems, more than assumes, that both of those mobile task forces have not been used on the wiki. Interesting, I would have thought at least one of them would. Cool, learned something today. Tyrone, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some beef jerky on your way past the commissary. What would you say about a facility dubbed Fractured Labs that houses and creates entities? Is this a thing that exists like a fandom I don't know about, or are you just suggesting a prospective thing? I'm looking up Fractured Labs to see what I find. I found a cybersecurity team, a business called Fracture Labs. And they, in fact, do crazy, they try and hack your computer so that they can find the weaknesses in your systems. But it sounds like you're talking about a thing that doesn't exist. You've just come up with a thing. Although Fractured Labs Archives, having been in development for some time, it's a brand new trailer for a post-apocalyptic multiplayer game. That's a game company. Okay, this looks like a thing you came up with. So, I guess my answer is, they sound like they're ripping us off, and they should just let us do their job because we do it better. Also, if Fractured is in your name, I just know you're not doing a very good job, and there are lots of containment breaches at your facility. So, gotta be careful with that. Site 42 staff, I don't want to alert you here. I don't want to stress you out. I don't want to give you a big jump scare, but you successfully have more likes than viewers at the 45-minute mark of this stream. Congratulations on your achievement. You did it. But keep hitting that like button regardless, because the higher the likes go, the more people get dragged into the SCP fandom, kicking and screaming by being brought to Site 42. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Combined with the infinite cake with bread Jesus. But then we'd have infinite bread Jesus. That's too many bread Jesus, cake Jesuses. We don't want more anomalies, come on. Tyrone, thank you for donating again. It's my own ARG. Well, good luck on that. I like ARG stuff. I hope it goes well for you. The Fractured Labs is a pretty cool name overall. It does, as I said, give me the idea that someone is used to having their laboratories broken out of, so that's not exactly great branding, but hey. Ash Lover, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Twix on your way past the commissary. I'm an anomaly. And how did you get a phone? Most anomalies don't have phone privileges. Especially not internet. Also, what do you think of SCP-716? 716? I'm unfamiliar with that anomaly designation. It is a train, just titled The Train. Interesting. It's a large locomotive, variable number of cars, between 8 and 20 on average. Both the train and the cars appear to be in an advanced state of neglect. Physical damage slowly regenerates over time. However, it still maintains an appearance of neglect and rust. It can be moved with difficulty, but it appears to be unable to function normally and appears to be missing many critical parts. A set number of rail cars, but unlimited amount of cars when entered, so it's bigger on the inside. La ha 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 ha. Hallucinations, alternating in weather patterns. Mass suicides and die-offs of local flora and fauna. Huh. I guess it's all right. Especially like landing on exploration and testing of raised data expunged, released by O5 order only. I don't like that ending at all. A lot of data expunges at the end of the main breath of the article too. I am a little iffy on that then. Amy Reaper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. Hey, is SCP-096 really dead? I heard rumors about it. Well, now this depends on which universe that you are inside. Because in my universe, 096 is still alive and kicking. We did not decommission 096. But in some universes, they have managed to gank the Shy Guy. So it just depends on where you are and how. I know there is a great story of, I believe it's Dr. Clef, or maybe it's Dr. Shaw, putting up a big poster of 096's face to celebrate it being deceased. Oh, Amy Reaper, thank you for sending a Site 42 gift membership. Make sure whoever got that membership to thank them for said membership. Gifting memberships is dope. The battle against the white names continues. Desk confirms that it was Clef who put up the poster of 096. Thank you, Desk. 051, thank you for donating again. I found your emergency hotline song on Euclid Avenue. You need more singing class, I'm afraid, or auto-tune. Hey, I was in choir for 7 years. I was a professional wedding singer, and I was a karaoke bar fiend in my day. Just because I sang a song that's a little out of my range for the bit does not mean I'm a bad singer. Oh, thank you. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Have you read SCP-3935? Maybe? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Let's find out. This Thing a Quiet Madness Made. Town of Salvation, Indiana. DJ Cactus Venture, love that. High school. I don't think I've actually read this one, but instead, I watched a new YouTuber break the article down really well. Let me see if I can find that person's YouTube channel real quick. SCP YouTube, I think the name is Max D. something. Who am I subscribed to on YouTube? Someone named Max. Let's find out. So, in order. Scroll my way too many subscriptions. No, that's not it. What is your name, you silly person? SCP class of 76, maybe? Wow, I was way off. The YouTuber's name is Davis Morgan. Davis Morgan, currently at almost 60,000 subscribers, it does a lot of creepypasta and writing critique videos. And a couple of them have been SCP related. So, was it that article I was looking at? Remembering the class of 76. A literary analysis of Jeff the Killer. You do not recognize the bodies in the water explained. SCP-3935 explained. Good, I was right. I do recognize that article because I watched this guy's excellent hour-long breakdown on the video, on the YouTubes. So yeah, check out the SCP-3935 video by Davis Morgan, as well as his other SCP videos. He's doing a pretty good job, and tell him Dr. Sherman sent you. Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, you know what to do. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a shawarma on your way past the commissary. A 2-week-long heat wave is at my location, and I'm pissed off about it. So anyone trying to play any pranks on me involving SCP-729- J will be sent straight to the femur breaker. Seems fair to me. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again, as well as becoming a member. I got my own gift, Doctor. So you gifted a membership and then claimed it? Was it like a workaround because you weren't able to become a member, so you like hit the button really fast? I mean, good button pressing. It's good job getting it, considering anyone could have snagged it, I guess. That's pretty funny. I've never seen anyone gift themselves a membership before. So, right on. Thank you for becoming a member in a unique and comical manner. Junior Researcher Sally, thank you for your 1-month membership message. Dr. Sherman, you got a cool shirt as usual. Thank you. I like this shirt. I think not a lot of teals and tan color combos like this out there. I think it's a vibe. Water Borders, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some red vines on your way past the commissary. Ash Lover, thank you for donating again. I've never been caught. Well, there's always a first time for everything. On the Foundation, we're pretty good at catching anomalies. We'll see you soon. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. I think. And then you donated another membership. Well, hopefully whoever gets that membership thanks you properly. It looks like Andy was the winner. Welcome to Green Nameship. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating twice. One with a retraction. What happens if you put SCP-113 on a phone with SCP-1471? So, the SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, has to interact with organic materials. It binds to your flesh. We do not know it to have ever interacted with a computer or a cell phone or an artificial intelligence yet. So I don't believe there's going to be any interaction there. Have you ever heard of the game mouthwashing? Intern Alley, yes, I have heard of mouthwashing, and I've watched several YouTubers I enjoy play it for their reactions, because when I'm very busy, sometimes I'll just put people's reactions on the background, and it's nice. It's well, the game's not nice, the game's horrific, but their reactions are good, and the overall vibe is good. I believe I'd recommend Super Eye Patch Wolves. Well, the Let's Stream channel for Eye Patch Wolf is regular Eye Patch Wolf. But either way, great content creator. Love that guy. #051, thank you for donating again. I was a 7-year singer too, almost got in the Red Army Choir, but we all know what that ended with Putin. Oh, wow. I did not know that, so I am learning something now. Thank you. Give me a moment to reset my browser. It seems to be having some glitchy. There we go. We're back in functioning. Do you know Dandy's World? If so, do you know V? Intern fandom lover, I have never heard of this Dandy's World before. This is news to me. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What if I put SCP-113 on Jesus? So SCP-113 works as a normal gender-switching stone when dealing with human beings. And even then, when people are some sort of non-binary or hermaphroditic, it has unreliable reactions. It does certain unpredictable things. So I would worry putting it on an anomaly like Jesus, SCP-6542, who those who don't know, known as Milk Jesus or codename the Virgin Dairy. I don't think we'd get a very good result. I think it would be very unpredictable, or it might not happen because milk and cheese don't necessarily have a gender. So perhaps it wouldn't react at all. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. Ever heard of the Mandela catalog? If so, how do you think the Foundation would contain the alternates? So I have heard of this one at least. The problem is that it's a very widespread issue to the point that it seems to have broken the masquerade. People talk about it on the news. So we would be at the phase of broken masquerade where we would have to round up these alternates as best we could, as quickly as we could. And the disinformation, I guess it's only in that one town though, right? It's not a worldwide issue yet. Pardon me, that was a small escape there. Mandela catalog. Mandela County. So it's one county. Okay, that's better. That is easier to contain. Because it's limited in area, that means that we could focus on handling the issues a little clearer. So, I mean, what abilities do the alternates have next? Shape-shifting humans, take down humanity is the goal. The Archangel Gabriel, great, we're getting religiosity up in here. We'll have to figure out which Jesus they serve. Hopefully it's Bread Jesus. Bread Jesus is a nice one. Anyways, yes, I think it's limited to a county in scope, at least in the beginning, so that gives us a hope there. Otherwise, we need to contain the anomalies, and we'd probably have better luck with our mobile task forces than the local county sheriff would. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. Hey, doctor, could you talk with my superior so I can do an experiment on SCP-113? Not on myself, of course. Clears throat. Listen. If you want to use SCP-113 to turn into to do what SCP-113, the gender switching stone, does, that is your prerogative, but you have to follow proper protocol. It's part of your Foundation medical plan. You need to talk with your on-site therapist, you need to fill out the proper paperwork, and once everything is cleared with medical, when 113 makes its rotation to your work site, that is when you get access. So just follow protocol, please. Sheeny, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Agent Miles, Desk had to bounce. Desk is not feeling well. They were here, but they have abandoned ship, and you should spirit bomb some energy into the universe to help Desk recover. Maybe we can buy it some more lacquer or something. Zerdrin, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Is this site redacted? No. It's site 42. I believe that is somewhere listed on the page. Right here where you can see visually. Yeah, reading comprehension. We're a creative writing community. You need some. Dr. Sham of a Lamb. Well, I never said I was a lamb, not a sham of one or otherwise. Is your beard an anomaly? No, it's just a beard and a mustache, a goatee, one would call it. There's nothing anomalous about my beard or the rest of me. It's just a normal, everyday site director. Run-of-the-mill, completely human, non-anomalous, don't you worry about it. Since when? I thought you were here so we didn't have to read. Edward. I'm Dr. Sherman. I read the SCP so you don't have to. What a world. Cosmic Shark, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Will, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a brownie on your way past the commissary. What would happen if someone gave SCP-049 a funny brownie? Interesting. Interesting. Let me double check something real quick. Where is... I thought we had done some of this. Dr. Clef tested, 173 tested. Abel tested. Josie, the big lizard. I'm a little shocked that we didn't test this with SCP-049. I would have thought that this was a shoo-in for one of the anomalies it would have been tested with. Dude with the arm. Hot cat girl chicks. Interesting. That dude who doesn't like anybody. Okay, so the racist alien. The anomalous basketball game. A weird clown. Bobble the clown. Ronald Reagan cut up while talking. Dr. Spanko. And the infinite staircase. No, we didn't test it with 049. That's a little crazy. I would have thought we had done that. Let me do one more check. SCP-049. SCP-420-J. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to hypothesize off the fly that 049 might stop trying to murk Foundation personnel, which would make me happy if it would chill out a little bit. On top of which, I reckon that 049 would get stuck looking in its microscope at cells dividing like, whoa. That's how I imagine that. Oh, the desk is returned. The desk has returned. I see. The desk will not be kept down, I see. All right, so, Will, I hope that hypothetical satisfies your curiosity. Is the fighting baby, or whatever its name, at Site 42? Let me check Fight Baby and see where it's currently located. 6564, known as Fight Baby, the 6564, right? The animate skeleton of a toddler, an unidentified female infant, is currently stored at, it's been moved over to Site 228. So it's currently not at Site 42. But perhaps, with the right motivation, we could requisition the fighting baby over here for certainly, definitely not an SCP Fight Club. We would never do such a thing as that. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I just received a weird letter saying I must use 113. I don't feel like becoming a direwolf girl, even if I'd look cute. Can you send researcher Tim to the ethics committee? Yeah, we wouldn't forcibly transform an anomaly. That's just cruel. The Foundation is cold, not cruel. That's the whole mantra. So, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. About that beard, I noticed some anomaly happening every time you read a finger on it. Is something happening? Curious. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a nice steak and potatoes dinner on your way past the commissary. And Mandela catalog, I believe it's more widespread. The story just takes place in that county. There's a nationwide ban on TV's mirrors, if I recall. And Gabriel is actually believed to be more demonic in origin. Wolf in sheep's clothing. I see. So it is a full-blown broken masquerade scenario then. Yikes. Then yeah, we would have to go to world saving mode pretty quick then. Oof. Drowsy, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Ben, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some candy corn on your way past the commissary. I come in and immediately hear SCP Fight Club. Well, what you heard is me saying there was definitely no SCP Fight Club. You see? That's a non-existent thing that doesn't exist, you see. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to talk about it. I mean, there's rules against talking about it because it doesn't exist. That's all. Don't you fret about that. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. Question from Jaden, which I think is interesting. What happens if the anomaly SCP-087 saw SCP-096's face? What would happen? Interesting. The face in 087 is just a floating face that we know of. And it does mess people up, to my belief. Now, the face does not communicate. Well, considering it can kind of float, I imagine if 096 were activated by 087, it would just flee down the stairs, and it could then be an infinite chase, which would keep 096 occupied. But we do know that 096 is able to give up, and if 682 can make 096 give up because it can't beat 682's adaptations, then I also believe that because it can't catch 087, it would be it would give up, but it would be really, really far down the stairs when it finally gave up. And that means that now we have 096 on the loose at this redacted college campus where 087 is located. So I think this is a bad idea to test it. I gotta go, Dr. Sherman and everyone else, so secure, contain, and protect, and for the love of 343, do not fraternize with the anomalies, please. Happy Pride, fellow bees. See you in the next stream, and make sure to check up on the Pride Month homework when you get the opportunity. We'll be talking about it soon. Ben Games, thank you for donating again. If the Foundation is secret, then why do we know it exists? Shouldn't it be unknown? Well, here's the deal. It depends on what universe you're in, man. There's a whole multiverse, and even then, there's a whole pataphysical layering of the universes. So we're being written by the authors above us, and we are the writers of the universe below us. Levels and levels that go up both ways infinitely. So, with that being the case, in some universes, you're going to have a very secret Foundation that no one knows about. The Foundation's completely secret. Sometimes, there's a broken masquerade where everyone knows about the Foundation, and now the Foundation has to have a PR firm, and they got to make sure that the public supports their mission statement. Some universes, the SCP Foundation is just a creative writing community and website, and doesn't actually exist at all. And in some universes, the SCP Foundation wiki does exist, but it's a cover-up. Because if we hide in plain sight, everyone will think we're a fake creative writing community. They will not think that we're an actual Foundation. So it depends on what universe you're in, you know? Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. It's SCP Hug Club, not Fight Club. The winner is the one with the best hug. Honestly, depending on the anomalies, SCP Hug Club is more dangerous than SCP Fight Club. You probably have more of a chance of surviving a battle than otherwise. So what is this universe? Ben asks. Well, the universe I am broadcasting from, the one I exist in, the Foundation is not Broken Masquerade. The Foundation is secret. But, and our database is not public. We do not have an SCP wiki that people can see. We keep ourselves proper secret over here. Of course, I'm always pulling up the extra universal skipnet to read anomalies from multiple universes at that rate, and in multiple languages sometimes. And so, in my universe, you can't see this stream unless you're an SCP Foundation employee. And then we are broadcasting through the back channels of Alphabet, owners of Google, owners of YouTube. And that is how you are getting this stream, but no normal people are getting these streams. No civilians are seeing this. Let me put $300 on 173 in SCP Hug Club. Like I said, if you get a hug from 173, your neck will be hanging sideways. It's a dangerous game. SCP Thunderdome, says Will McCormick. Thank you for donating again. And Thunderdome, what? What? That's crazy. That doesn't exist. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'm an anomaly, which is the way I know. You mean about the Foundation? Yeah, it is weird that as an anomaly you have access to this stream. But not all universes are the same, and sometimes they have anomalies that are allowed access to the internet, which I think is crazy, but sheesh. DBNX, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of chicken wings on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I have still not received my phone from my specimen of SCP-1000, and somehow I got a hold of 26 Viagra pills. I'm not going to hear him for a month. I did not sign up for this. I don't like the idea of it being able to reproduce. There was a lot going into stopping SCP-1000 entities from proliferating. If it's trying to mate, we need to contain it quickly. So unfortunately, you have to keep chasing it down because we need to know its location. We can't lose it. Avari, good to see you in the chat. Hey, Dr. Sherman, good to see you. The Church of the Broken God is still chasing after me. Last time, for some reason, they brought a tank. And now they have a universe traveler. Gonna need backup from mobile task forces. We need to move you to a universe where they don't know who you are. That's where this has got to go. You need to fill out form 759-D-7 to get access to a universal portal, perhaps the Pegasus Rising Project, affiliated with SCP-5886. We could use that to send you somewhere where they're not knowledgeable of you. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite color? My favorite colors, in general, I'm partial to green, peacock green, and mint green. That very deep jewel green as well as mint green. And then yellow and gold are my others. So those two kinds of vibes. Andy, Doc, check the Ko-Fi. I will check the Ko-Fi on that tip. I see. Let me see what this says. Following up on the Delta Room so first of all, Andy, thank you for donating again. Following up on the Delta Room question last stream, anyone can create a dark fountain and a dark world with a big enough force of will and a knife. That'd probably make them harder to contain, wouldn't it? Or it'd be as simple as amnesticizing anyone who finds out how. Yes, first of all, we need to dissuade people from knowing what to do, because no one's gonna, like, channel all their will into a knife and then stab the ground. That's not something people do normally with the effort and want to open a portal. Some kids might play around like that, but it's not like they're going to think it'll work and channel their will properly. So as long as we can keep the ritual secret, most of the time it's self-containing. Ben, thank you for donating again. Do the SCP sites from other universes coordinate with each other and share data for SCPs? Some do and some don't. You see, there are SCP universes that collaborate cross-universally. However, there are just as many foundations that fight with each other. Oh, there's a great SCP about this from the early series. I haven't had to pull up this article in a while. Where are you? Is it 1322? Yes, okay. So first of all, I'm very sad because I have a browser extension, a very useful browser extension that maybe you would like for the SCP Foundation browsing experience. It is called SkipperDB. Skipper and SkipperDB are made by a very helpful fan of the SCP Wiki and author, I believe. And Skipper, as a browser extension, adds the title of the article to every page you're reading, as well as the author's name at the bottom, so you could see the name and the author when you go to the page. It also does other little happy things to help you out. So when you browse the wiki, Skipper's very useful. I highly recommend it to increase the joy you have browsing the SCP Wiki database. But one of the sad things about it is that I opened up SCP-1322, the article I was looking for, thankfully, only to discover that it's named Glory Hole. Why? It's not even like that name has anything to do with anything. So, barring the title, SCP-1322, oh, this one used to really interest me back in the day when I first got into SCP. And at a positive 1,231 rating, man, that is a popular article. Also, I hadn't upvoted it, so I'm going to put it to 1232. And if 2 more people upvote it if they like it, remember, only upvote it if you like it. And in fact, downvote it if you don't, that's fine. Just vote honestly. Don't vote because I told you to vote a certain way. But if we get 2 more upvotes, then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will be very entertained. So, anyways, SCP-1322 is a stable space-time anomaly that we can send things through and send messages through, and there's another SCP Foundation on the other side of the wormhole, and we communicated back and forth and traded data, and everything was going great. But we sent a virus or a bacteria by accident that did not interact well with their biology. We essentially sterilized their entire planet. No more births. And so they started trying to send nanobots and nuclear weapons through the wormhole to get back at us. And they tried to send, of course, diseases as well. So they, woof. We have beef with that universe. So, yeah, sometimes when one SCP Foundation site and another SCP in another universe meet, the girls start fighting. Damn shame. All right, so Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I was classified as an anomaly after being brought into the Foundation. Remember I told you about the shadow spider anomaly I saw? Oh, I know that. I know that. What did I say to you last? I'm an anomaly, which is way I know that it's a hug club. No, I knew that you were anomalous. I mean, you're a dire wolf boy. That is quite anomalous. I knew that. DBNX, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, I'm not going anywhere near that thing. It's looking at me funny. It keeps telling me to toot it up. Oh, you got saxophone Sasquatch. Sax-squatch, for short. I mean, look, you don't need to go near it. You just need to keep an eye on it from afar. As long as you got eyes on it, we can find and contain it. That's all you need. Are SCPs breedable? We do not fraternize with the anomalies. How many times do I have to say this? Although, Andy, thank you for bringing it up before I even could. Tell Yellow Indian Bullfrog about the clown breeder. Yeah, go look at SCP-2912 if you want some anomalous breeding, because they're breeding the clowns. The anomalous Cthulhu clowns. Is that what you wanted? The anomalous clowns to be bred? Is this what you want? Miserable. Miserable, I tell you. Zerdrin, hashtag pissed in asexual. Thank you. We're upgrading from annoyed to in asexual to pissed off in asexual. Delta 999 report card. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of hot chocolate on your way past the commissary. Do you have access to the Samsara unit? I mean, you do need a certain amount of clout in the Foundation to be able to summon Tau 5. They are pretty busy booked up, so, you know, I can find a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy who can get us a hearing. Get us a deployment. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, how's the async buyout going? Huh? You didn't know what was happening? Let me check my drafts. Oh, I didn't send it, my bad. Are we buying out async? Will we get access to the back rooms? Oh, think of the research. Ooh, I like this idea. How much are they asking for? That's probably a sticking issue. You know, the overseers have to clear it. I am confused. Can someone please explain the SCP lore to me? Intern Frederico, that is what we do here at Dr. Sherman's office hours. Ask any question you want. I will try to answer it if I see it. Meanwhile, the best thing you can do to really get into SCP lore, it's like getting into comic books, where there's just so much of it, it's hard to know where to start. You just kind of dive in. You see if your friends know any SCPs, and if they like those, you go read those. You see if your content creators that you know like any particular SCP stories and check those out. And you just keep branching off from there. And pretty soon you'll have been around the community for 13 years and you'll know way too much about way too many SCPs. Not that I have a personal experience with that or anything. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. That's why I have a smartphone with internet access as an anomaly. I see, okay. Gotcha. We're finding our ways. My memory is not what it is when I've been up all night chasing gorillas around. Desk would like me to point out that yes, the guy I know who knows a guy is Clef. That's how we get Tau 5 deployed here, Samsara. Joey Smith, intern Joey. I found out about the SCP from Markiplier. Funny story is I don't actually remember where I found out about SCP. It was that long ago. I guess amnestics are a hell of a drug. But one of my guesses, it might have been a Markiplier video. That's at least one of the likely options. Could Mallow keep SCP-173 in place? Could a Mallow entity keep 173 still? I have a feeling the answer is no. Because of their incorporealness, their intangibility, I believe that mallows don't qualify as in the same universal plane that we are. And so I don't think they affect 173. It's not something we can test, or it's something we could try if we knew somebody who had a mallow entity hanging around them. Do you have immortality as a worker for the Foundation? Tame and Polyfan, the answer is no. Most Foundation researchers are very easily killable, quite squishy in fact. But there are rumors that the overseers do get reinforcement of their immortality from a fountain of youth. That's one of the rumors, that they are given immortality as long as they want it. Delta999, thank you for donating again. Are the rumors true about you having the spear of the non-believer? Me having the spear of the non-believer? I mean, why? Why would I have that? What could I possibly do with such a anomalous object in my possession? Why would I ever have need for such a thing in my possession? That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. It's who does that? Who needs that? Intern Joey, my favorite SCP is Another Murder Monster. It had a really good story to it. Hey, that is on my list of favorite SCPs, which I will tell you about in an hour and a half. That's the end of stream. I've decided we're doing a full 3-hour stream today. I have fortified. And by the way, that's what O5s do. They don't reinforce, they fortify with the Fountain of Youth. I'm glad that word finally came to mind. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'm pretty sure I work under Desk Clef. Well, Desk has a good retinue, so that would be likely. Sylvia, what's today's gay homework again? What a great question. Welcome, everyone, to Gay Homework, aka Site 42 Pride Fest. The SCP Wiki is doing a Pride Fest highlighting LGBTQ-themed anomalies, and while they're doing theirs and they've got their rules and sets for which ones they pick, we're a little more chaotic over here. I'm flying in by the seat of my pants. I have not even written down which ones I've done before. People are keeping track, I'm sure. And so, yesterday's gay homework was a deep story called I Stared into the Face of Everything and Nothing and Made It Back Alive. This tale is a sequel to SCP-3999. So I told you yesterday, maybe read SCP-3999 as well. That way you would have context for I stared into the face of everything and nothing and made it back alive. So you can tell me if you did or didn't read both articles and what your effects were in the chat. But while you're telling me if you read it and what you thought of it, for me, I'm just going to tell you quite simply, this is a great effing tale. I've known about this one for a long time, and my word, does it hit. In fact, I have a comment in the discussion of this article back from 2017. 8 years ago, I commented on this article, and it says, please ignore this string of expletives. Cursing, 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 cursing. I'm so glad you went the route you did. Going the it was a nightmare route would have been much too much. It's better to either leave the fear or B, my preferred is an honest exploration of PTSD. And that is what this is. It is a exploration of researcher Talleyrand's PTSD after having gone through SCP-3999, which, if you're unfamiliar, SCP-3999 is researcher Talleyrand being put through infinite universes of torture timelines by a reality bender that just decides to mess with them. And so 3999 goes back in time and, or like, nukes Talleyrand's family, then goes back in time. Then lets Talleyrand live an entire happy life before ripping Talleyrand back into the torture. Talleyrand gets shoved into several anomalies, gets put into the Harry Potter books, gets put into the aristocrats joke, before finally overcoming 3999 successfully. And although I think in 3999, it says that Talleyrand passed away, the sequels assume that Talleyrand survived. And it's gay homework because Talleyrand has a boyfriend, Draven Kondraki, son of Dr. Benjamin Kondraki, the famous SCP researcher. So the reason I gave you guys this article for gay homework number 1 is that it's a really good look into PTSD in general. I just really like the story. That's on me. But also, there is a canon gay romance on the wiki between two fairly prominent characters. Now, Talleyrand is not used a lot outside of SCP-3999 related stories, but on, say, Tumblr, 3999 and researcher Talleyrand are hugely popular in the fandom. And Draven Kondraki is the child of famed Dr. Kondraki. So some people are big Dr. Kondraki fans, don't even know Draven exists. So here is getting more into the characters of the wiki, just like we did yesterday with Icky the Magic Clown from Herman Fuller's Circus. So the goal here is to enjoy some more canon characters with some staying power. Rant complete. And now, just a quick tangent. Desk is telling me that Dr. Sumerian is immortal via longevity, no longer ages, and his subconscious probability manipulation, Sumerian is anomalously lucky, the opposite of Dr. William Weddell, who is anomalously unlucky. Cool. So, now it is time for today's gay homework. Today's gay homework is another tale. It's another canon queer character who I want you on the lookout for. The tale's name is I Don't Get It, But I'll Figure It Out. The tale's name for today's gay homework is I Don't Get It, But I'll Figure It Out. It is a tale regarding a person of interest from Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. That's why that's our pinned tweet and thumbnail for the day, by the way. So this is a story between Tim Wilson, the founder of Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, and their daughter, Feowyn. And so I want you to enjoy this story. Content warning for coming out stories and dealing with family when coming out. That is the scenario. So that is your gay homework. Desk, if you put it in the chat, I will pin it so we have it on hand. Allow me to take a breath. So, gay homework aside, let's get back to the main stream. What did I miss during the gay homework rant? Epic Fire Dragon, welcome to stream. Thank you for your first donation of the day as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Chicago-style hot dog on your way past the commissary. Hey, Doc, the Foundation finally sending me my custom site researcher suit. Should have by the end of the week, and not just wearing jeans and a leather jacket. Oh yes, uniform is important, that's for sure. Alicia, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Let me pin desk here real quick. Will, thank you for donating again. Do containment team members have access to voluntary amnestics? Very often, yes. Check with medical, and if you need it, you need it. Andy, thank you for reminding me of another Ko-Fi donation. Let me get that real quick so I don't forget it some more. Dr. Shermanator. Care to illuminate me as to what the hell alligata is? Alligata. So, as a concept, let me get you just a long story short here. In the database. Alligata, designated by the SCP Foundation as SCP-2264-B in the Court of Alligata, Alligata da Vida, is a dimensional city accessible from SCP-2264-A in the Tower of London. So first and foremost, you have 2264 to start with. On top of which, you are dealing with anomalies such as the Hanged King, from famed The Tragedy of the Hanged King, the Anomaly, the SCP theater show. Then you have the Ambassador of Alligata, who is a person of interest and shows up during the Hanged King's tragedy. Then you've got the Black, Red, White, and Yellow Lords, who are different anomalies in line with Alligata. And the Black Lord, the former Black Lord, is SCP-035, the Mask. So that is a quick rundown. But if you look up Alligata, you will find lists of lore from this ancient interdimensional city. So that is your quick rundown. But it's a very popular subject on the wiki, a lot of lore around it. So you'll have a good long read going through all that. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. You act like my double agent status couldn't get some Foundation personnel past the threshold. Async protocols are more relaxed comparatively. Maybe I've been amnesticized since the last time you told me you were doubling at Async. I thought you were at another facility. But yes, that is in fact how we get the scant people we were able to sneak through in when we do want to do some experimenting there. We just can't get caught. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Yeah, I have to get a completely custom one, being a dragon and all. You know, at this point, we really need to start mass producing Dragon Foundation uniforms. There's just so many dragons here at Site 42. It's a little weird, if I'm honest, but I mean, hey, all sorts of anomalous staff members, so why don't we just have the dragon site, I guess? Why Not Guitar? Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a whole butterscotch cinnamon pie on your way past the commissary. Just got off work, hope things are well. An update on SCP-999's progress regarding working on the shop floor will be on your desk in the morning. So far, training has been progressing well with no issues. Well, that's good news. I mean, that little slime could run over the floor and pick up all the nuts and bolts pretty easily, so that's not terrible. Delta 999, thank you for donating again. Can we get a blood sample from Dr. Clef? Somehow I doubt he would consent to such a thing. Just Just a gut feeling. Oh, Site 42, I want to congratulate you all that you have double the amount of likes as you do viewers right now. 219 likes to 102 viewers. Congratulations again, you're crushing the likes today. Keep on hitting that like button if you want to hit 3 times as many. And let's keep pulling people into the foundation. Delta 999 report card, thank you for donating again. No, that was already the blood sample from Clef one, so I guess thank you for that one twice. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again, and you just said no. I don't know what to know. Having to do with working under desk and Clef? Or working under Clef desk? I'm a little confused, to be honest. Oh, you were telling them that they cannot take Clef's blood. That is what Desk is informing me. Okay. And Desk also tells me that Clef would shoot your foot off. So, very much, the answer to Delta 999 is no. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I just got done with Markiplier's stream. Oh, did Markiplier have a stream today? Wonderful. Was it about, was that what it was about the Secret of the Mimic I saw? I saw that he was playing it, but I did not realize that it was a stream. I thought it was a video premiere. Ash Lover, thank you for donating again. Also, my friend is a never caught anomaly. Good luck. So what you're saying is there are 2 anomalies hanging out together, which makes them much more easy to spot. The more the merrier, I say in the containment cells. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I mean, there are a lot of different types of dragons, so mass production would be difficult. That's fair. I guess custom tailoring is the way to go. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating to clarify that you were responding to Delta while Desk was also telling me that. Much appreciated. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Haven't mentioned my lore for a hot minute. Doesn't often become relevant. Yeah, that's fair. Ah, the dark lore of all of us. Ruby Wolf, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some burg and fries on your way past the commissary. How are you doing today, good doctor? Enjoying coffee and concha. I'm behaving during my travels. What summertime anomalies should I keep an eye out for in the wild? So, I'm a little sleepy after having to chase down SCP-3092s all night. They're fun little cute boys, but, man, there's a lot of them, and you gotta round them all up. So that took a little bit, and just a quick tangent. Sylvia, intern Sylvia, congratulations on completing your gay homework during the stream. Way to go. That's dedication. What the fuck is gay homework? It is the Pride Fest SCP of the day that I have told you you have to read. That's why it's gay homework. Where was I? Ah, yes. Enjoying coffee and concha. Do I know what concha is? Man, I'm so tired today. Oh, okay, those things. I never know what those were called. Very nice. Yes, you should behave during your travels and summertime anomalies, you say. Let me close up some spare browsers. SCP Summer. No, that's just a photograph taken in the summer. Uh, 8471 refers to the Summer Court, which is a Fae matter. You know, I don't have any anomalies that are just summer related off the top of my head. Sorry about that. Vox the TV Demon. No worries for your tardiness. I hope you finish your missions for the day. As a quick note, we are at a time check, 10 minutes until 2 hours into the stream, which means we are 1 hour and 10 minutes remaining. As long as I can keep this up. Oh my God. Shremak, thank you for your wonderful question. Are there any pirate SCPs? So first and foremost, Dr. Sumerian has an episode tale where all of the SCP researchers in different universes become pirates and go to war with each other. All of the foundations have pirate ships, and they go to war fighting each other in pirate battles. What is this tale? So I can give it to you because I know you want it. SCP Pirates. I believe I need to go to Sumerian's author page to find this. CP Dr. Sumerian. Personnel file. Come on, give me the pirates. Give me the pirates. These are his SCPs. Oh, I forgot he wrote like over 200 articles for the site. Sumerian is insane. Their loved ones in the glory. He has a crooked mile. Falling as I am. Dr. Sumerian recovery log. Dangers of data management in the 21st century. The ever-moving line between day and night. 3 distinct deaths. Kill nothing but time. Sweet dreams and flying machines. And pieces on the ground. No. No one involved with me. The weight in my eyes indisposed and disguised as no one knows. Hides the face, lies his leg. How Dr. Clef got into my Santa Claus pants, I'll never know. That's the name of a Dr. Sumerian tale. How Dr. Clef got into my Santa Claus pants, I'll never know. Moving on. A special holiday message. There is comfort, and to this day, she still can't breathe. May the sun ever set on the British Empire. Blunders are all there on the board, waiting to be made. I finally decided my future lies beyond the yellow brick road. They don't listen, they did not know. Perhaps they'll listen now. Ashes, that's what fell down. Peter Butter Crunch. Tell me your thoughts on God. Tell me all your thoughts on God. Horrors of unclean bowl. They groaned, they stirred, uprose, everything changed, blink of an eye. Melody familiar, and anyone started to come together right now over me. Ending going tragic. Snap, crackle, pop. They could hit the broadside of a barn with the target painted on it. Slice of life for a man completely uncomfortable with slices, life, and people. I like that story. Orientation for the pasta physics division. I love that story. That's a great one. Orientation for the pasta physics department. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear and raise what's left of the flag for me. Dr. Sumerian is no longer allowed to use temporal anomalies in order to travel back in time so he can kill Hitler. Overseers are overreaching their policies for sure. Des, did you have it? That tale is amazing. It's not sexual. I'm assuming you mean the Santa Pants one. I mean, I trust Dr. Sumerian's tales very often, so. Where the hell is your pirate tale? Sim? Take on me. Is it not Sim? Did I have the wrong author for this one? Ruby Wolf, pasta department. So string theory was spaghetti? No. The pasta physics department orientation is about the commissaries department, about the cooks, because it was decided by the ethics committee that if we treat humanoid anomalies a little better, it could lead to less containment breaches. So in the universe that has the pasta physics division, they are doing great work treating humanoid anomalies more human. I bet they use he and she pronouns for anomalies, unlike us over in my universe. SCP pirate ship. Yeah, I think this epic music does fit for me trying to figure out where the hell this pirate ship is. Now, while I am still looking for this, I will tell you that I found an RSCP post regarding pirate SCPs, and they listed, and I quote, 3689, 5306, 2846, 5862, 2085, and 5036. These are pirate-themed SCPs according to this set. So, that is SCP pirate ships, apparently. SCP Foundation Pirate Dr. Cimmerian. Come on. Come on. Please, is it wipe that golden tear from your mother dear and raise what's left of the flag for me? Yeah! We're there. We're there. It was... Of course, it was the, what's left of the flag. Of course, it was the Flogging Molly titled song. Of course, it was the Flogging Molly titled song. I should have guessed that. Honestly. Okay. So, what's left of the flag is the name of the song from the title. The tale is called Wipe That Golden Tear from Your Mother Dear and Raise What's Left of the Flag for Me. And this tale, the SCP Foundations across the universe became pirates. And they have flying pirate ships that they use to invade other SCP Foundation universes. And so, Dr. Shaw looked on as the rest of the ship's crew began to get to work. He shouted after Shawbeard, who was making his way aft to the ship's wheel. "What do you want me to do?" Shawbeard laughed and looked back. "Hoist the fucking colors." This is tagged with Dr. Cimmerian, Dr. Clef, Dr. Wrights, Dr. Shaw, Shark Punching Center. Woo! That was an adventure. But we made it. Okay, we now know which one was the pirates. Hallelujah, that gives me some peace of mind. I'm coming back to the chat, people. All right, where am I in these donos? I know I'm behind. Delta999, thank you for donating again. Perhaps a compromise is in order. Would a good whiskey be a good trade, do you think? Or maybe something else? Would Clef accept whiskey in trade for a blood sample? I'm gonna guess no. But, hey. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating twice in a row. I mean, I'm the only bipedal Nightwing dragon that I know of. Also, you want me to sniff out those 2 SCPs hiding in the wild. Just the braces fully off my wings, so I am flight certified again. Just got them off. Hey, if you want to go for a hunt, far be it from me to stop you. Bring them in alive if you can. We don't like destroying anomalies, after all. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again with some much needed coffee. Chester Factory, thank you for the time check. We are at the 2-hour mark, and I have decided I will persevere for a 3rd hour. So we're staying. 1 more hour, people. Ash Lover, thank you for donating again. How will I know you're here? Also, I found a human's body. Epic Fire Dragon. Thank you for donating again to continue this conversation with the anomalies you're hunting. You won't, Ash. That's the beautiful part. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. O5 Recruiting, please refer to him for admission. Huh. That is, not in return for a cup of coffee, I hope. Checking, 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 checking. Nope, I don't see anything there. Okay. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. If you ever feel like looking up a backrooms entity that has an SCP vibe, you should look up Jerry the Parrot. It's a parrot that causes fanatical religious worship of him just by touch. Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that because I will not dissuade my allegiance from SCP-5320. All glory to the fish that just goes on forever. Its glorious infinitude. Praise be to it, and let's all get drunk at work. Amen. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Fireside XCZ said they're a junior teacher Robinson, and something about the bodies in the water and asking for help. Well, I hope medical will make their way to the junior teacher Robinson. Well, I seem to have woken up the heretics with that. The fish is not a loop, nor is it a Mobius strip, nor is it an Ouroboros fish. And nor do praise need to be given to clown milk Jesus. Milk Jesus is enough. We don't need clown milk Jesus. Card Slayer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself. You know what? Grab yourself a whole pizza on your way past the commissary. Just asking if the SCP Foundation and the Federal Bureau of Control would do a cross-site experiment with SCP-682, the Unkillable Lizard, versus Altered Item Victorian Mirror, which creates a mirror world and a mirror version of those who enter the mirror world. I do not need another 682 running around. I'm denying that test outright. I don't care what the FBC says. Zero Sleepless Fox, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a jawbreaker on your way past the commissary. SCP-4423 was visiting last night. Was it? Dun, 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 dun. Step Demon. Excuse me, what? A Tartarian-class demonic entity that manifests during sleep paralysis. Although its appearance varies across manifestations, its voice remains the same, with speech patterns matching that of a middle-aged male. During this event, it will enter your room and speak to you as if you were a young child. This conversation will inevitably turn to the topic of the victim's father. When the victim exits sleep paralysis, 4423 will leave the room and demanifest. With only 15 confirmed cases since '99, we do not know how often incidents are. And we had a nice interview with it. A demon that claims to be fucking your dad. which is why it's called step demon. Because it is a demon that's banging your dad. Happy day after Father's Day, I guess. Honestly, this seems pretty funny. Overall. Good on you, weirdos. Local Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Location will be sent to Mobile Task Force once found. Excellent. Delta999, thank you for donating again. I think I'll get more luck with Dr. Gears if I could give enough reason for the sample. Oh, definitely. Gears is much more likely to accept. As long as you can be rational about it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I think Clef wants me to make clown milk cheese pizza Jesus. That is too many words that I do not like together in one sequence. Oh. Hopefully this is the right facility, rings a doorbell. I have a sponge that I made into an anomaly, and I don't have an airtight, heavily guarded box to contain it. I don't have one. Do you? Oh, actually, I hate this, as having awoken a childhood memory that I had long suppressed. Excuse me while I have a moment. I do not want an anomalous sponge anywhere near my house, my containment site, my nationality area, because I read It Came From Beneath the Sink, the Goosebumps book as a child. And that anomalous ash evil creature sponge under the sink is freaking terrifying. No bueno. Nobody likes that thing. Look at this thing. This thing is freaking terrifying. Whose idea was to show this to children? Come on now, R.L. Stine, are you kidding me? I haven't thought about that in a while. I was really into Goosebumps as a kid, now that I think about it. And the Choose Your Own Adventure books especially. I think this explains a lot about how I ended up at the Foundation at the end of the day. Random civilian. Oh, no, it's nothing like that sponge? Oh, you better not be lying. Because that thing's coming nowhere near me. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Speaking of which, what mobile task force would be good in a forest? Let's check the mobile task force database. And the list is loading, populating. Let's see if anything says forest. Mobile Task Force Gamma 4, codename Green Stags. Task Force mission. Mobile Task Force Gamma 4 specializes in operations involving anomalies in forested or otherwise nature-based environments. Skilled in ecology, recovery, and tracking targets. Based out of Site 44 and operating on behalf of the Cryptozoology Division. That is perfect for your current task. And, coincidentally, it is the only task force that deals with forests. So, wow, they gotta be spread pretty thin. Unless they have a lot of different branches. All right, let me double check something real quick. Dr. Sherman, I can't find which SCP the tale Farming and Coffee and the End of the World is about. Or is it a standalone tale? Farming and Coffee and the End of the World. Let's find out. Farming and Coffee and the End of the World. And SCP, so it brings up the right page. There we go. Rundown diner, 2 elderly men, waiting for a third. Blah, 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 blah. A nice look into the future where skips are commonplace. This is a bit aimless and there's no point to it. It could be a lot shorter for how unambitious it is. Oh, this is by not the author. Oh, wow. This is back when self-upvoting was gauche. It's been a while since we didn't do that. Okay, so I guess I actually have to read it to figure this out. Anomaly, anomaly, anomaly. Junior researcher, can you be a little more specific as to where in the tale the anomaly is? Because it's just these two dudes talking. And I'd be interested to see what you're talking about if I can help out. I'll keep this page open and I'll look out for your response while I am answering other donos. Delta999, thank you for donating again. That's way better than the Animorph ending, TBH. Honestly, I wasn't an Animorph kid. No hate, no shade, I just never read them. Time check, Reaper. We are at the 50-minute mark, approximately. So what facility should I take this to? Random civilian, please take that sponge to site, I don't know, 57? I just don't want to risk it. Andy, good to see you in the chat today. Thanks for being a member, and we'll see you at the next stream. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. There's a talking robot truck waxing poetically about responsibility and leadership. It has that good deep leadership voice that makes me want to listen to him. Is this relating to the tale that... Is that in the tale Sally is talking about? That's what I'm trying to say. My words got stuck. And while I go back to look for this truck, I heard Animorph books had some crazy body horror. That's what I hear too, Sheeny. King of ADHD, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member, as well as I'm glad your summer job is doing well. Michael found a file. The anomalies, animals turning into humans. Michael found the file is what I'm looking at. Control F. Michael found the file and set the device on the table for all three to see. My sister's kid Eddie recently went over to Nepal or Vietnam or something for some UN mission. Real big secret. We won't talk about beyond a few things. He came back and mentioned that he had taken up this get to it. We've been practicing martial arts in the barn, and he said that the cows were acting funny. Look. He pressed play on the device and sat back, and his companion's eyes widened. The sloppy video showed a man in his 20s performing a kata, and beyond him, 5 cows were stumbling about upon 2 legs. As the man moved, so did they. He let out a punch and shifted his arm upwards, and the cows mirrored the movement, attempting to perform it quickly enough before their balance failed them. There were many other cows within the barn, and all watched, enraptured as Eddie moved. So, cows, kung fu cows. Cat's following around. Cat doesn't look, something looks like a human. So, it had an enlarged head, oof. It was talking until they put it down. Cows are doing it too. So is it people turning into animals, or is it animals turning into people? It seems like animals turning into humans, as far as I can tell. I mean, because this isn't tagged anywhere, I have a feeling that it's a one-time anomaly for this tale. I believe that it's a, I don't think it's anywhere else on the wiki based on how it's worded and nothing's tagged about it. If the anomaly existed, 99% chance there would be a link to the anomaly, because that's just how we like to do things at the Foundation. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Oh, Optimus Prime, huh? Well, I guess Remicus Prime isn't here to help us with the negotiations between the Optimus and the rest of the Cybertronians. But hey, maybe we'll get lucky. And Junior Researcher Sally, hey, you could be the one who writes it. You can write humans turning into animals, or animals turning into humans again. Hey, Dr. Sherman, first stream I've made since June 6th. I'm battling the Roaring Knight right now. Oh, good luck. I hear that's a bit of a tough fight. Card Slayer, thank you for donating again. What if you had SCP-343 meet the Federal Bureau of Control's only janitor, Ati, who helps clean all the oldest house, which is the anomalous location, and is their main base and does not allow any new tech? Something tells me the way that janitor acts, I think 343 might not be able to interact with it. I believe, due to the fact that 343 can't interact with a lot of things that are outside of its jurisdiction, as it claims, it might not have anything to do with Ati. It might be outside of 343's jurisdiction. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Sending location to Gamma 4 now. Yes. Book 'em, Dano. Would Jason from Friday the 13th be classified as an SCP? Yes or no? Please answer me. So, intern Black Grass, Jason cannot be an SCP because it exists off the SCP Wiki. We're a creative writing community that follows the Creative Commons. We can't steal someone else's work. So, Jason is not an SCP. But it is anomalous, that's for sure. And I know that it could be very easily contained because they cryogenically froze it before. So, easy to contain. Basically safe if we just keep it cryo-frozen. I just realized that you sound like Matt Pat. Intern Jeremiah, I get that a lot. It's the theater kid in both of us. Question, what counts as touching 049? Its gloves don't block the deadly touch, so direct contact is not needed. I was under the assumption that 049 could touch things with touch people with gloves. I'm now curious. So the article for 049 says that the gloves that it wears by default are its skin, not actual gloves. Therefore, the death touch works because that's its skin. But I do believe in the game SCP Fragmented Minds that 049 wears gloves and can handshake staff. I believe I'm remembering that right. Site 42 streaming. Hi. Well, hello, Intern 3. Welcome to stream. We've been streaming daily for 2 months and 2 days now, so welcome to the party. $31 spent on Super Chat and subscriptions despite being unemployed. Amy Reaper, while I appreciate direct donations, remember, do not donate beyond your means in a way that would cause you harm. We never want that. We're supporting artists to the best of our ability, but without causing ourselves actual problems. Remember that as long as you are in this chat, you are liking, you are sharing, you are subscribing, you're doing all the YouTube business, that means you're a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. And when new SCP games and films and animations and stuff come out, when I send you, you go running, you like them, you share those, you comment, Dr. Sherman sent you. All this helps those projects grow through engagement, get in front of more people who might be able to donate so that you are signal boosting to help them get seen. If you're doing that, you are doing more than enough for Site 42. Card Slayer, thank you for donating again. The oldest house is an ageless structure that exists outside of normal time and space. It's described as a place of power that can expand and shift with an interior far larger than its exterior. It is also the FBC's main base. I have played Control all the way through, so I am familiar with the lore of that particular game. I tell you what, the first time I played it, I got nostalgia for a place I have never been, because I'd been in the SCP Foundation fandom for about 10 years by then, and oh my, if I had not walked through the hallways of the oldest house and thought that that's where I was. It was a crazy feeling of deja vu for a place, nostalgia for a place I'd never actually been. It was pretty dope, actually. You have been ignoring me. Mobile Task Force, and that's your name. I have not been ignoring you. There's 128 of you in the chat. Sorry, 136. It just went up again. Please, everyone, do not be offended if I do not answer your chat. I think this is common YouTube culture. I'm doing the best I can with the amount of people who are talking. So please do not take it personally if I do not see your question. And if you are especially desperate to get your question answered, that's what the donation button is for. Is Herobrine from Minecraft an anomaly? Does Herobrine actually exist in the game? I believe that was an urban legend or a creepypasta, right? Literally, Wikipedia says Herobrine is an urban legend and creepypasta. That's so funny. That's the exact wording I used. Okay, so if Herobrine exists, then it is as a creepypasta entity, which makes it a anomaly, but not an SCP, because it's not on the SCP wiki. Although I wonder if we have a Herobrine-like SCP. All right, I'm not seeing any good intel on that, unfortunately. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. 049 said something about the resilience being cured in me somehow. Do you mean the pestilence? He wants to dissect me to find out how I was cured. It wants to dissect you. 049 is an anomaly, not a human. It is an object. It is an it. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols. Thank you. I think it's because I became a dire wolf boy. Well, I am not sure. I would not let 049 dissect you. That's very simple. Let's go with that. Mittens, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a schnozberry on your way past the commissary. On Father's Day, does 053 give SCP-682 a gift? No, we don't cross-test them that often. Come on. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Mobile Task Force was asking, if SCP-999 Peanut and Shy got met, who would die first? Well, how kind of you to donate in Mobile Task Force's stead. That is a very kind and helpful thing. Wow. Foundation staff is real chill. Very cool. So, 999 Peanut and Shy Guy meeting. So, Shy Guy would not be activated for a fight because neither 999 or Peanut have eyes. Therefore, they cannot activate 096's ability. That means, meanwhile, 999 cannot be harmed by Peanut because it's slime. There's no neck to snap. Nor do I think it would actually cause an attack by 173 in this first place because it doesn't have a neck. It is just a blob of slime. Now, that tells me that what's going to happen is Peanut is going to have a field day with Shy Guy, who will not take the time to look at Peanut. Now, we know that if we bathe 096 in acid and have a mobile task force shoot it with a bunch of machine guns, then let 173 at it, that will decommission 096. It's happened in another universe. But I guess Peanut could just kind of keep breaking Shy Guy's bones again and again and again and again, but I don't think anyone's going to die there. I think everybody lives, but Shy Guy has a lot of broken bones. And that's if 096's bone structure is of average human strength, because, you know, we've seen what it survives. The shells it has survived from planes and tanks and automobiles mean that it might be strong enough to even withstand having its bones broken. At that point, it's complete stalemate. So then Shy Guy can't attack? Well, it only activates if you see its face, and neither Peanut or 999 can see its face. They don't have eyes, so yeah, I guess that's that. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again to say, yeah, you're curious about it too. Well, I'm glad that you both had a generous and a selfish reason to successfully do that helpful thing. Are you comfortable with me seeing you as a father-like figure in a way of feeling valid and, quote, safe, don't have a better word? I hope to create a safe space for all of you and make you feel valid. That's good. In support of the SCP community, which is highly LGBTQ friendly, as well as friendly of all creeds, except for those that are hateful. As long as there are no fatherly responsibilities. I am married to my work. I have a lot of anomalies to keep track of, but if you feel safe, I am happy to give you that. And besides, it's better than all the weirdos out there who call me daddy instead of father. Annoyed and asexual for real. I meant Pekalens. I don't plan to let it dissect me. Chris and I are Wolf Boy. Yes, do not get dissected, please. That would be not great. Shremak, what is the gayest SCP? It's funny. Ironically, it's not the SCP that's titled, codename, The Gayest Man Alive. That is an actual name of an SCP, but it's not actually about homosexuality. It is about the word gay as in happy. Because the dude's sweat is literally heroin and makes him constantly high. So he's very happy, very gay. Pat Fusty, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot cat on your way past the commissary. What if SCP-055 saw SCP-096? Would it forget? So 096 can sense you wherever you are in the world if you see its face. So but would you just forget about it? That's a toughie. while I'm considering this, Lavito, yes, a hot cat is a delicacy from the Hotlands region under Mount Ebbet. It is peddled by one entity known as Sans the Skeleton. What am I doing here? 096055. See, I even forgot it. Oh my gosh. SCP 055096. Any interactions? So I'm going to answer this really simply with what we do know, although we keep forgetting it, is that 055 is not a sphere. And we did not say that it is not a human or not a this or that, but I have a feeling that it's not an entity that can see things. I have a feeling that even though we can't remember what it is, we would be able to figure out by process of elimination if it's a person. No, that doesn't make sense. I am vexed. I am vexed by this. Okay. Your question made my brain hurt. Congratulations. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Another question I saw in the chat I need answered. What if 096 saw themselves in a mirror? You think you're real funny, don't ya? Think you're real funny, don't ya? You know that 096's face is already in 096's brain because it knows what its face looks like in order to hate that people see its face. Therefore, 096 doesn't care if it sees its own face because it already knows what its own face looks like because it doesn't like its face. So if it looks in a mirror, all that does is it gives us two faces of 096 in a room, which makes you twice as likely to look at it. So, bad plan. Praise Clown Milk Jesus. No! No! No Clown Milk Jesus. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I can't spell what I mean. It was what you guessed. Yes, pestilence. Pest like a rat. Pestilence. Or you can just look up the SCP-049 article and get it there. Pat, thank you for donating again. For 343's sake, stop letting SCP-999 swim in liquid concrete. Yeah, that's a bad mix. Don't like that. Hold on one second. I just saw something, and I need to confirm something. So, Shremek, it seems to me, just to confirm, your idea is you want to put SCP-723... See, I think you mean 729-J. And I think you typoed 723 when you said to show that to the Morse code anomaly. Because I don't think you're talking about Sad Roach. Are you talking about Sad Roach 723-J? Is that what you actually mean? You said no, so I'm assuming you actually meant that thing. And I'll tell you this. We already exposed 729-J to 2521. It's in the document. And when you see the document and you read what happened, 2521 ran away. Middle fingers extended, just like 106 did. And so, thankfully, the mimetic filters protecting the stream allow me to say 2521 without being captured. But, yes, that entity cannot stop that thing either. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Blame Desk, he started the praise chain. Oh, I do blame Desk. I blame Desk for a lot of this. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. If someone looks at 096's face, and then the neurons containing the memories of his face are destroyed, its face, proper pronoun parlance protocols, please. Its face are destroyed by rabies, for example, would 096 still chase? I have a hypothesis that if you could clearly destroy the neurons, all of them that contain any information about 096, that could work. But doing that is a pretty tall order. Getting very specific neurons, and by the time 096 gets to you, that's a lot. Ash Lover, thank you for donating again. My friend is also an SCP. Both of us, Apollonius. I think you meant Apollyon. Well, no, you'd be object class uncontained if we don't have you in containment. Seeing as the world hasn't ended, I'm assuming that you're not Apollyon, because that's all Apollons do, is they usually end the world or something. Oh, Aether! Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation of the day, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a submarine sandwich on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, sorry I'm late. That's all right. And time check, we are 20 minutes from the end of stream, people. 20 minutes. Had a doctor's appointment and just got a haircut. So my helmet fits better, not to mention that Abel ignored me when it broke containment again upon my return. Well, Abel doesn't really understand gender markers like male and female and people like that, so it has to tell who you are by specific details, so maybe changing your hair caused Abel not to recognize you. Could be. Apollyon versus Thaumiel. Thoughts? Well, Thaumiel helps us contain things, and Apollyon usually end the world, so I'm a little more partial to the ones that help us keep things in containment, if I'm being honest. I would think that would be obvious. Hey, Dr. Sherman, SCP-055 is a cat. We learned this in the jump scare warning. SCP-729 dash... I see what you mean about jump scare. Dash J. Article. Good. And I am loath to go look at that thing's article. After 5 minutes, the containment chamber opened and a calico cat ran into Dr. Hessen's office. Oh, Pudding, come here. I brought a new friend for you, signed Dr. Hessen. Wait, we even had an 055 and it's a cat named Pudding, signed Dr. Axum. Oh. I wonder if that is true in our universe as well. Interesting. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I guess wrong location for them, but I did find 2 new entities at least. I will keep an eye out then. You found 2 new entities, but not the ones you were hunting? It happens. We should cross-test Pudding and Josie. I like the way you're thinking. So has it been discovered who actually posted SCP-173 in the original post on 4chan back in 2007? Yes, we do know the person who posted SCP-173. And in fact, SCP Wiki staff are often in talks with that person because they were involved in the talks to take down the SCP-173 photo, but not to put a new one up, to make it a gallery that anyone could submit to. That way it wasn't just one new person's photo. So they are in conversation with the SCP Wiki staff on occasion. Hypothetical question. What would happen if someone per se took SCP-999 home with them? You saw nothing. Nick, thank you for being a member. But that will not grant you grace against taking anomalies out of their containment sites. There will be punishment. There will be penalties. There will be consequences. I highly suggest you don't. Question for Dr. Sherman. Would there be a way to revive D-Class and reuse them for testing? I do not have knowledge of any universes with reusable D-Class, other than the character Connor from the defunct Confinement animation. But you have the getting more D-Class from... You have the D-Class getting them from Death Row or picking up homeless people if we need more desperately. And you've also got the clone method, which is very popular because it seems a little more ethical than the other. Dr. Sherman, who wins in a fight against one another? SCP-3812 or One Above All? Marvel. Aoki the Demon. Y'all kidnap homeless people? We need D-Class. Sometimes you gotta do stuff. One Above All, I forget. Ba-ba-ba-dum, ba-dum-bum-bum. highest creative force in known existence, and the source of all there was, is, ever will be, said to be more powerful than all its living creations combined. Normally one above all servant, the living tribunal acts on its behalf as the supreme authority of the multiverse, does directly intervene from time to time. One above all lives in the house of ideas, or heaven, beyond all time of space. I think 3812 probably. All right, here is one above all doing the pencil that can manipulate reality. So came in with a pencil and rewrote reality. So here's the trick. One above all is above the Marvel universe in the narrative pataphysical level. That much is clear. The problem is 3812 is able to climb multiple narrative levels all at once. It exists in every narrative layer, so not only does it exist in our universe, but the one written by the people above us, and the one that wrote the people above us, and so on and so forth, both all the way up and down. So if we were to say that one above all is like the authors of Marvel, they exist in our universe, and they write their little fiction. And we watched 3812 ascend to its author's realm, and then ascend beyond its author's realm. So I think 3812 sweeps. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I will go get 999 back and bring it to containment if someone decided to take 999 out of the foundation. I don't know what Boss Clef would do to the mistake that thought it needed more 999 more than the foundation. I imagine Clef would not be particularly happy with such a thing, nor would the rest of us. There was, Indecisive, there was one of the iterations of that thing in the chat right at the beginning of stream, but I believe it has left. Doctor, where was the SCP Fight Club again? I'm having trouble finding it. Also, why does the scientist have orange-stained pants over there? Number one, there is no SCP Fight Club. You're not going to find an SCP Fight Club anywhere. It definitely hasn't been moved to the Site 42 Gymnasium. Absolutely hasn't happened. Will never happen. Won't ever be talked about. We know the rules that don't exist because there are no rules because there is no SCP Fight Club. Meanwhile, yeah, people sit on SCP-999 from time to time. It slides into their chair, that's all. Please help, I'm in the back rooms. Intern Wally, you shouldn't have gone there because we don't have jurisdiction there. Async won't let us in. So while we can get some people in through some double agent back channels, it's gonna be rough to get you out of there. You should not have run in there in the first place, but best of luck getting out. Can I be tossed into the ring tonight, Dr. Sherman, for the Human Fight Club? I just need to blow off some steam. Just go to the gym. Do some boxing. Work out your aggression the normal way. What do you do when SCP-096 escapes? Hunt it down and bag it. After it's done with whoever it's chasing, that is. Can I borrow SCP-5000? No, we're still studying it. Oops. Dr. Sherman, I kidnapped a blurry dog. Sorry, I love it. It is my dog now. Intern Chaos. Wilson's Wildlife Solutions will get very mad if you absconded with their anomaly. And they're pretty nice folks, so I wouldn't be mean like that. And also, if you go to work there, you can visit the dog all you want. So I don't know what you're stealing things for. It's rude. Zypher, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a scoop of chocolate ice cream on your way past the commissary. What do you think about Roblox pressure? I don't think about Roblox pressure. I am not a Roblox player, and I am unfamiliar with the lore of said game. Speaking of pets, are we allowed to bring pets from home? I have a very nice dog back in my old home. Can I bring her onto site? She's very nice. Yes, we do have a pet policy. You have to follow it right. You have to keep your pet in the allotted spaces, nowhere near the containment cells. Just follow the rules. And if your site has anomalous pets, then you have to be particularly careful. Time check, by the way, we are 7 minutes from the end of stream. 7 minutes from the end of stream. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some delicious trash on your way past the commissary. Know of any SCPs that feature trash or garbage? Asking for a friend. Amber, good night. We'll see you in the next one. SCP garbage, SCP trash. That's actually going to be kind of hard to look up, I believe. Okay, not actually at all. 3905 is a anomalous public garbage can. And it's a trash island. Made completely out of soda cans, though, so I'm not sure if that's the kind of trash you want. SCP-1330 is an anomalous landfill. SCP-7243 is the largest waste processing facility on Earth. So, yeah, there's some SCP garbage, some SCP trash out there. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I spent time with Mallow yesterday. It is fun. Well, most Mallow entities, I think, are pretty benign, although, again, intangible and they don't really talk much. Intern Luke. SCP-105 is signal because it is an anomaly in containment and we do not fraternize with anomalies. SCP-729 dash. J. I'm so glad you're still here. Thank you for donating again. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again, but doctor, please answer me. You should have put the question in the super so I could see it. No, what have you done? I'll try and keep a look, but what in tarnation? Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. It was Mallows' birthday stream, if I remember right. Ah, then you'd have to talk to Desk for knowledge about that particular SCP anomaly that seems to a Mallow that Twitch streams. Peculiar. Dr. Sherman, I ate the 682 piece. I feel weird. Intern Elswick, 682 essentially is a rotting lizard. Why would you want to eat that? What possessed you to do such a thing? Amy, hey doctor, what do you think of an SCP that is a set of dice that the combination of the results alter either the physical body or mentality of the users? Well, it's a simple, what we call a thing that does a thing. And for things that do a thing stories, you need to make sure that there's something about it that makes it interesting. That's the most important part. Because right now, dice that alters people, okay, but does it alter them in cool ways, in bad ways, in horrifying ways, in particularly weird ways? How does it alter them? That is the question that's going to make or break this article. $729 Jay, thank you for donating again. I wasn't speaking much because I'm planning. Great. Dihydrogen monoxide, thank you for donating again. I tried to put 729 just in the clockworks. A new setting magically appeared on the dial and it was titled Extremely Rough. That doesn't shock me at all. Guys, I see the bodies in the water. Should I be worried? Intern Stinker. Seeing the bodies isn't the problem. The problem is recognizing them. So that's, two separate things. Oh, it looks like we got a last second Ko-Fi donation right before the end. And I literally mean last second because we coming to the end of stream. Have you seen SCP-005-J? Asks Chestifactory. Well, thank you for that Ko-Fi style donation going around the long way. Grab yourself some hot wings at the commissary while I look into 005-J. Which one is that again? Ah, yes. Having to find birthday gifts for the overseers. I seem to remember this anomaly. And I still don't know what to get them. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again. Thanks, Doctor. Also, rude. Rude is what I say to you. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Brings Dr. Sherman 999 and starts knocking on your door. Dr. Sherman, here's 999 for your mental trauma from today's stream. Well, thank you for that. As we end stream, I will take advantage of such a thing. Proper pronouns, Dr. Sherman, the overseers are technically anomalies. Yeah, but they're also our bosses. They get a pass. All right, Site 42 staff, that is the end of stream. We made it to the end of today's office hours. And as always, at the end of stream, I tell you all my favorite SCPs. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm Site 42 author page and Site 42 hub to see the SCPs I wrote. So I wrote a couple of them here and there, and then I also submitted to some. So you can check those out, and while you're there are direct donation links. You can become a patron, get early access to videos. You can become a YouTube member, get green name and emojis and badges, and then move up to early access at the higher tiers. You can donate to the Ko-Fi if you want to donate directly and not give a cut to Patreon or YouTube. Whatever way you feel like donating, we appreciate it greatly. And even if you can't directly donate, as long as you're here watching, subscribing, hitting that like button, you are a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename the Signal Boosters. Our mission to signal boost SCP projects and games and certain SCP animations that may or may not be coming up in the future. And so you stick with me, and we will make SCP the greatest fandom and IP in the world. So I appreciate your help, whether it's direct donations or signal boosting. Good work, Site 42 staff. Now, real quick, I got a last-minute donation here. Amy Reaper, thank you for donating again to celebrate the 321 likes. Nice. Not nice, like 69 likes, but nice, like the normal kind of saying nice. Not the meme nice. Okay, so, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a doozy. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980. Content warning for the last one. So, I hope you have enjoyed this stream. I hope you had fun, and I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you all in the next Site 42 video or stream. His eyes they closed, and his last breath spoke. He had seen all to be seen. A life once full, now an empty vase, with the blossoms of an early grave. Walk away, me boy, walk away, me boy, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me. Then the rosary beads, count 'em 1, 2, 3, fell apart as they hit the floor. In a garb of black, we must pay respect to the color we're born to mourn. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys. By morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother, dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me.